Have you ever heard of a man who could command a pride of lions with just a look? A man who stared death in the face so many times it became his day job? Today, we're diving into the incredible, and often terrifying, life of Jack Bonavita, one of the greatest animal trainers in history, a man whose real name was Johann Friedrich Gentner. Born in Philadelphia in 1866 to German immigrants, young Johann showed an early fascination with the animal world. But his path to stardom was far from ordinary. He didn't start in a circus tent. He began his career as a skilled metalworker. This trade, surprisingly, gave him the physical strength and mental fortitude that would later prove essential in the lion's den. In the late 1800s, the world was captivated by wild animal acts. It was a time of spectacle and danger, and a man named Karl Hagenbeck, a revolutionary animal dealer and trainer from Germany, was at the forefront. Hagenbeck pioneered a new, more humane training method. Instead of breaking an animal's spirit through punishment, he focused on understanding their nature and using rewards. This was the world that beckoned to Johann Gentner. Adopting the more theatrical name Jack Bonavita, he joined the Bostock and Womwell's Menagerie, one of the largest traveling shows of the era. This is where he began to make a name for himself. Bonavita wasn't just a trainer, he was a showman. He understood that the audience craved drama and the illusion of imminent peril. His signature act was unlike anything seen before. Imagine this, a cage filled not with one or two, but 27 lions. 27 powerful predators, and in the center of them all, one man armed with little more than a whip and a chair. He didn't just make them do tricks. He orchestrated them, creating living pyramids and dramatic tableaus. The press dubbed him the Lion King, and the title was well earned. Bonavita's method was a blend of Hagenbeck's principles and his own iron will. He believed in kindness, but also in establishing absolute dominance. He would spend countless hours with his lions, studying each one's personality, their quirks, their moods. He learned their language of growls, roars, and body posture. This intimate knowledge allowed him to anticipate their actions and maintain control in a situation that was constantly a breath away from disaster. He famously said, "You can make a friend of a lion, but you can never trust him." One of his most famous lions was named Baltimore, a magnificent beast he had raised from a cub. Their bond was legendary. But even that bond was tested. The life of an animal trainer is written in scars, and Bonavita had his share. He was mauled on several occasions, each time a brutal reminder of the thin line he walked. Perhaps the most famous and tragic incident of his career occurred in 1904 at the iconic Dreamland amusement park on Coney Island. Bonavita was performing his act when a lion named Caesar, known for a surly temperament, suddenly attacked him. The audience watched in horror as Caesar sank his teeth into Bonavita's arm. Other lions, agitated by the chaos and the scent of blood, joined the fray. It was a scene of pure pandemonium. Fellow trainers and park staff rushed to his aid, using iron bars and firing blank cartridges to distract the frenzied animals. They eventually managed to drag his mauled body from the cage. The injuries were horrific. His left arm was so severely damaged that doctors had no choice but to amputate it at the shoulder. For any other person, this would have been the end of a career. How could a one-armed man possibly control a pride of lions? But Jack Bonavita was not just any person. His spirit was as unbreakable as his will. In a display of almost superhuman courage, Bonavita returned to the lion's den. He went back into the cage with the very animals that had nearly killed him, now with only one arm to defend himself. The public was astounded. His return was a media sensation, and his fame grew even larger. His act was now more dramatic, more heart-stopping than ever before. The sight of the one-armed Lion King commanding his beasts was something people would never forget. He continued to tour, his name synonymous with courage and spectacle. He even had a brief foray into the burgeoning world of silent films. appearing in the 1914 movie The Lion's Bride, playing a character who, ironically, is mauled by a lion. Art was truly imitating his life. In the 1910s, Bonavita decided to scale back his touring and took a position as the head animal keeper at the newly opened Universal City Zoo in California. This zoo was the creation of movie mogul Carl Laemmle, who wanted a collection of exotic animals to use in his films. This should have been a quieter chapter in Bonavita's life, a well-earned retirement from the constant danger of the performance cage. He was responsible for caring for the animals, training them for film appearances, and ensuring their well-being. But tragedy, it seemed, was never far from Jack Bonavita. On March 19, 1917, while working at the zoo, he was directing a photo shoot with a polar bear named Teddy. For reasons unknown, the normally docile bear, which he had worked with for years, suddenly turned on him. It was a swift, brutal attack. The bear mauled him severely before help could arrive. This time, Bonavita's legendary luck ran out. He succumbed to his injuries a few days later, at the age of 51. The Lion King, the man who had survived countless encounters with the king of the jungle, was ultimately killed by a king of the Arctic. Jack Bonavita's story is a complex one. He was a product of his time, an era when our understanding of animal welfare was vastly different from today. While his methods were considered humane for the period, the very concept of keeping wild animals in cages for entertainment is now widely questioned. However, we can't deny his incredible skill, his profound understanding of animal psychology, and his almost unbelievable bravery. He wasn't just a daredevil. He was a pioneer who pushed the boundaries of human-animal interaction. He dedicated his life to his animals, and in the end, he gave his life for them. His legacy is a testament to a unique and dangerous art form, a thrilling and often brutal chapter in the history of entertainment. He was a man who lived and died by the law of the jungle. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of the one and only Jack Bonavita. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from history.